Welcome to a new Daily Top Askreddit video. Today's topic.
What screams, I'm not doing so well mentally. I can't motivate myself to do simple things around the house that I actually never mind doing when I'm feeling okay. I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to answer the phone. I don't want to participate in any activities. I just want time to stand still. This is me when I get in a dark place. I just want to eat, sleep, and watch TV. Everything is exhausting or an irritation. I don't want to see friends, talk to anyone. Nothing, leave me alone. Not even really wanting to watch TV or play video games. Just something to fill the empty noise in your head while you get to the next day. I really feel that wanting time to stand still. I'll love to press pause on my life and not be me. I felt that. I just want time to collect myself without the months and years flying by. Low tolerance to everyday stress. I break down so easily now. Me too, slightest inconvenience. I'm angry, often when stuff in love life is going wrong too. They are not interested in their hobbies. I'm fine. It's just that life is pointless and nothing matters and I'm always tired. Also, I can't sleep. I'm overeating and none of my old hobbies interest me. Yeah, I got invited, but I just didn't feel like going. Aren't you always saying you wish you could hang out with your friends more? Quote, yeah, but every time I text on short notice, no one is free. I've tried to set up plans or ask them to let me know when they are free and I never hear back. The people that do probably aren't the best influence on me, and I don't even really enjoy hanging out with them that much anymore. I just don't really feel like doing anything. Quote, this is what tipped me off to how bad I was actually doing. I was bored out of my mind, but even though I have a lot of hobbies I enjoy, I couldn't make myself do anything but sit on my phone. It sucks. This is me right now. And I want my husband to go to bed so I can cry. Reading this thread with the intent of finding traits about yourself is a pretty big one. Damn, touché. Speaking French is another one. They quit reaching out as much. A friend of mine thanked me for being an annoyance when he stopped reaching out. It saved his life. I have a policy where whenever I have a nice thought about a friend or family member, I send them a quick heart emoji with no expectation of a reply or conversation. It's just something I've been known to do. Let me tell you, people fucking love this. Most of the time I get a little heart back or a smiley face, but sometimes you get people on a day they really needed that and it makes everyone feel better. They're slacking on hygiene. I'm a dental hygienist. Had a patient post-COVID who noticeably gained weight and their teeth went from practically flawless to very much less so. I remember asking him if everything was okay and he was almost in tears. COVID was really hard on his mental health for a lot of different reasons. He hadn't been able to see his American family due to, well, the aforementioned. Luckily, he's in a much better place now. No issues in his last checkup, and he has a BF now. My dentist knows I only appear when I'm at the end of a depressive episode. She always hugs me and tells me she's happy I'm back. Yep, I stop brushing my teeth at night every so often and that's my sign to go to the gym and be intentional about self-care, self-spoiling, again. I haven't been out my room except to go to work or eat, and I usually wait until no one is around so I can eat. I work from home so I get that. I hate going to the office once a year, and when I'm as down as I am now, I won't let my husband see me eat. Some days I have to go out of my four walls. The other day, I sat at a restaurant by myself to enjoy some food. We can be our greatest company. You ask them how they are and they say with no emotion, living the dream. Or, still breathing, with such disappointment. Dang, these are both my go-to response. Or, it's going. Not wanting to be alive but not wanting to be dead, just wanting to be nowhere. Be in a dark void with no emotions to feel. I love to sleep. It's like being dead without the commitment. Seriously though. My business math teacher used to come to school looking like he got dressed under his desk. One morning I will never forget, he wore two different shoes, black dress shoe and light brown shoe, which also were the wrong sides also, left foot right shoe, left foot, half-tucked shirt, bed hair and like a liquid stain on the neck of his shirt. His excuse for looking like that. I got dressed in the dark this morning and I picked up the wrong shoes and accidentally grabbed a dirty shirt. As a teenager, I just thought, he's a messy person. But as I got older, I believe he went through a bad divorce and he didn't take it so well. I still think about him and wonder what really happened. That's wild. A colleague of mine years and years ago did exactly the same thing, and it was for an almost identical reason. Quick background, we were both known for dressing very well. Designer shoes, custom suits, custom shirts, you name it. One day, we're sitting in my office having a meeting, he sits down on the floor, I think we were redecorating that day but who knows, could have been part of the weirdness, and he looks at his feet and just casually, absently, says, I'm wearing different socks. I take one look at him and in kind of a shocked, concerned voice say, Pete, you're also wearing different shoes, one's an Oxford and it's not even laced, your pants are just wrong, you have no belt and your shirt's not pressed. Turns out he was in full-on marriage battle mode with his wife. I just sat and talked with him for at least 2 hours, it was bad. I had a teacher in HS who constantly looked like a dirty, unmade bed. He owned 2 suits and he'd alternate wearing the brown one, then the blue one, then the brown one, all with some hideous shirt and tie. Nothing ever looked clean and his hair was constantly in need of cutting. I was just a teenager but even I could tell he looked like crap. This guy was in his 50s, single, never married and a humorous individual who was a pretty good teacher and a genuinely nice guy who we all liked. A few years after graduation I found out he'd been made to take a leave of absence to dry out. Ding, light bulb. No wonder he looked like a train wreck, he was one, poor fellow. He probably had vodka in his morning coffee and was barely able to make it to school at all. Little naive me finally put 2 and 2 together. All the jokes he used to make about liking Manhattans, I barely knew that was a cocktail, seemed pathetic in retrospect. I don't know what finally became of my teacher but I hope he conquered his addiction. Sudden change in personality and/or spending habits. Yes, that would be definitely concerning. My cuticles will give it away. Same. My nails show my mental state. Sadly enough, high-functioning depression doesn't scream. There is little to no way that gives it away. We just come home and cry in the shower, every fucking day. Or we just feel empty all the time. It really presents differently for everyone. Sleeping excessively, often neglecting other responsibilities to do so. Being an absolute prick is your personality. Those are the hardest ones to help. Fuck off mate, that's bullshit. Oh wait. Rapid weight loss, gain or similar physical changes, e.g. messy appearance, poor hygiene etc., are obvious. Less obvious, being late more often than usual, especially if in the morning, indicates excessive sleeping. Constantly tired, zoning out frequently, they don't add anything to conversations, just listen and nod to whatever's being said. Talking less than usual, difficult to make plans with, often cancelling and/or first to leave in group plans. Bloodshot eyes, puffy face etc. all indicate they've been crying recently. I really like that you put the note about not adding anything to conversations. That is not something that gets brought up often in these conversations. There's no fight left, we are tired. So whatever everyone else says is fine. And in addition to that, honestly, my mind is not in the right place to be contributing. I'm thinking, or more accurately not thinking, about how numb everything is. If someone in your life stops voicing their opinions about anything, everything, it is a bad sign. I'm not vocally opinionated myself normally. But I'll speak up to say just, I disagree, and then move on a good day. I don't even bother with the disagreeing on a bad day. That constant poker fake and dark sarcasm from someone who is usually pretty happy. No showering for 5 days. Staying in bed for 2 months. Someone who feels the need to always be doing something socially. Like the guy or girl who can never stay in on a weekend. Oh, I felt this. I used to blame myself for wasting my day offs when I stayed at home and also was very guard to say no, so I agreed a lot of thing I didn't actually wanted to do and ended up burning myself out melting face. Yup. I've always kinda naturally been a homebody, but I've noticed over my life, I'm 29, that the times I was most depressed were the times I felt I had to be out clubbing and drinking every weekend. They start being really generous out of the blue, or at least, completely different. Always willing to hang out, cheery, buying everyone gifts or giving away things when they otherwise wouldn't have done that or been like that before. Unless they're moving, it's probably likely they're planning on leaving this earth soon. And that's their final goodbyes. This should be discussed way more often. Sleeping more than usual. Social isolation, crying at the drop of the hat. Also not getting enough sleep, not wanting to be alone, and never showing particular emotions, like crying. Over-apologizing. You don't need to say sorry 15 times to a person you simply bumped into for a split second. I am unfortunately guilty of doing that. Multiple job or relationship changes, manic, cryptic social media posts, sudden changes in appearance or behavior. Easier just to get rid of the social media accounts altogether. Reddit is helpful for having outbursts and everyone you know not witnessing it. How suddenly looks like a hurricane went through, after not hearing from said person for a long while. Silence and seclusion. I'd rather not exist. Seclusion and isolation are my solace. Who wants to be around someone unhappy anyway? Chain smoking and nail biting. Nail biting. Excessive nail biting is the top sign that I am experiencing serious anxiety. Not texting back, taking longer to text back, flaking on plans, isolating, weight gain, hygiene goes down. The screaming, for one thing. Dirty kitchen. Not me looking at my dishes I was about to wash hours ago and came to Reddit to procrastinate, instead melting face, cold sweat, smile. Repeating a joke twice in case no one heard it. But what if it's a really good joke? ETA, but what if it's a really good joke? One of my grandparents used to tell the same joke all the time. When I pointed it out he would say, "Oh, I'm not telling it again for you, I wanted to hear it again." Poor dental hygiene. Misinterpretation of reality. True, I think a lot of about the saying, you create your own reality. I partly against it, cause feels like a lot of times things are just happening beyond our control, but it's indeed incredible how much our own mind reacts can affect our mental state. So, my mother's everyday life. I wish she would get the help she so desperately needs, it's affecting other family members and has ruined my relationship with her.